The BVI Investment Club, a group of BVI landers who believe in securing the investments within the BVI for its people, has been motivating others to become financially and otherwise involved in the development of the territory. Speaking on JTV's live talk show Spotlight, members of the BVI Investment Club said they are preparing to celebrate their 20th anniversary. It was revealed that the club started out of a feeling of national pride and at the time when the economy was much like it is today, when the group decided to pool their resources in order to remain part of the BVI's economic development.
Back in 1992, it was conditions very similar to where we are now. The economy wasn't doing that great, and the banks had their backs up in terms of lending funds to locals. And we figured that if we don't find a way to pool our resources, then we would lose out in terms of being part of the economic development of the territory. So our passion or thing that we were mainly concerned about was losing out in terms of the economic development of the territory.
As a group, we met almost every weekend and discussed. And it was a new concept, I think, for everyone. And we finally got to one weekend where somebody, probably me, said it's put up or shut up time. You know, next week everybody come with their checkbook. We are doing this thing, and we were very impressed with each other because everybody showed up with their checkbook. You know, we had discussed, we were ready. It was time.
Margaret Penn said when the group started out, their plan was to stay together for a period of 5 years, which today has extended to 20 years. The group also had a goal to start a bank, which would make borrowing money easier for BVI landers. But although this did not materialize, there were other investment opportunities.
When we started out, we had a vision, yes, but we decided that we would stay together for 5 years. We never really envisioned where we are today. And we wanted to start a bank. Mead mentioned about the difficulty with financing and so forth at that time. And so we had a project to start a bank. We did a tremendous amount of research. We had seminars here.
McTodman.
Where people spoke.
Yeah.
Yes. We even had a provisional license at a point in time. But the bank sort of let up on the credit, you know, tight. They loosened up a bit, and next thing we know, people were getting $1 million loans. And we decided that at that point it wasn't something that was right for us to go into it. But then opportunities came our way that we were able to take advantage of. And our first investment being in what used to be called NCCT Boat Phone.
Regarding the group's first investment 20 years ago, Mead Malone explained how the BVI Investment Club, through the Development Bank, purchased CCT Boat Phone. Malone said the steps leading up to that investment paved the way for BVI landers to approach banks and receive loans more easily.
CCT was our first investment, and we bought it from a company out of the States called Ameritech. And we negotiated away some debt, and in the end we had to pay $900,000. It was a lot of money back then. 20 years ago, $900,000 was a ton of money. And we had to come up with our 50%, $450,000. And as Margaret says, you know, everybody brought out their checkbook. Each of us had to put up $4,000. I'll never forget it. And getting $4,000 was very difficult for a lot of us to gather up the money.
26 people.
For the 26 people. And what was very interesting, and it set the tone for the future, that none of us were going to go anywhere and begin anything until all of us, everybody that wanted to be a part of that investment, you know, had an opportunity to come on board in an equal way. And we went to the development bank. All of us put up our money. I think we had raised about $250,000, which wasn't enough for the $450,000 we had to pay. The development bank loaned us $450,000 with a collateral of $250,000.
And personal guarantees.
And personal guarantees. And that's how we made our first investment, and we invested that money in CCT 20 years ago.
The group says several other investment clubs have formed in the BVI since their group started in 1992. The BVI Investment Club also provides assistance to those who are interested in forming their own investment clubs. The club continues its 20-year celebration with its game show VI Culture Grill with secondary and college students on ZBVI Radio at 7:30 p.m. Mondays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. The celebrations will end with a black tie dinner next month. Sir Dwight Venner, governor of the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank, who's a longtime supporter of the investment club, will be the guest speaker. You can watch a repeat of Spotlight on Sundays at 2:30 p.m. and also on jtvlive.net.